Vinita. Sip Meera, Sip Rumataji, Sip Bliko, Sip Parvati Amma, Sip Yogini, Sip Pankaj, Sip Swati, Sip Raju, Sip Buddh, Sip Chidanand, Sip Mrs. Sadhwani, Sip Kaumudi, Sip Sudeep, Sip Krishan, and the rest of you. I see you, but I can't see you live on the call. I welcome you to the call. The subject of today's discussion, interesting subject, how to live as a yogi. Today's discussion, how to live as a yogi. Looking like a very simple discussion. Let me see how simple this discussion turns out to be. Ashok Chotwani. Yes, sir. How do you, spiritual champions, Ashok Chotwani and then Samatma. Welcome.
Shivam, sir. Shivam, sir.
Shivam,
Sir, to live as a yogi, we should be always in any of 5 states of yoga. They are Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Prema Yoga. And we should be ever united with the divine.
How? The question is how to live as a yogi. Your answer is correct. Tick mark. Answer is correct.
Yeah.
So now the question is how?
Yeah. Sir, starting as a Dhyana Yoga, when we are getting in the morning, we should sit in meditation and in silence, sir. Again, there, yeah.
What if when I'm sitting in silence, man bhatakta hai, the mind goes away, then what do I do?
No, we have to sit in silence and free from any thought, sir. We don't allow thought. Yeah.
Good.
And for Jnana Yoga, we are reading books, we are attending spiritual talks, sir. So we are getting some Jnana.
Jnana Yoga.
Yeah. Okay. Karma Yoga, we are doing daily duties of the life, sir.
Okay.
Whatever business or service, sir. Bhakti Yoga, while doing Bhakti, we simran the name of Sip.
Okay.
And Prema Yoga, we have to love everyone as a Sip.
No, beautiful answer. Your answer is very beautiful. The only question is how. So let us see. Samatma, you also, I'm leaving the question to you. Your answer is what to do as a yogi, tick mark. How? Think, contemplate. Samatma.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam, Samatma.
My answer was similar to this, but only one thing which I want you to add was the gap between the 2 yogas. We should see that in that gap we are in Prema Yoga so that we don't slip into Bhoga.
Good.
Otherwise, it was on similar lines. Only this was addition.
So my only point is what you are saying is correct. I am only concerned about how to live as a yogi.
When you are in Prema Yoga, you see, you are doing everything as if you are serving sip, and you see sip in everything and everyone.
So there's no challenge, Samatma, according to you? There's no challenge in being in yoga?
It's not that there is no challenge. There is a challenge, but we have to control our 5 senses to see that we remain consciously in Prema Yoga when we are not in any other yoga. That is the biggest challenge. So we have to live in that moment consciously.
Okay, Yogini, what do you have to say, Yogini?
Thank you.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam.
To be like a yogi, you have to be like a swimmer who doesn't drown. And a yogi also should not drown in the bhoga.
So how?
He has to be in consciousness.
So what's the meaning of swimmer? You said something like a swimmer. What is a swimmer business?
Swimmer, the one who learns swimming, he can never drown. He will surely come out. The same thing in yoga. If I want to be in yoga, I don't have to sink in bhoga. If I am in Bhoga, then there is no need of being a yogi.
Correct. Answer is correct. So how? How to live as a yogi? How?
Always being in love with God.
In love with God. You can always be in love with God because
By knowing that I am only a flute. I am doing nothing. Surrendering to Him totally.
so all your answers are correct. I'm trying to fit the jigsaw puzzle. I'm just trying to say. Just now I came back to Bangalore and they showed me this book. They showed me a beautiful book. It's called it's Realization of a Yogi, a new print in gold. So each one of you is entitled to collect one from me. And Bliko, when you're coming from Canada, this is a very special book. I hope that you would like it. And incidentally, today the topic is this: realizations of a yogi. Today's topic, why I'm showing this book to you, I just now came and saw it's a very lovely book. I'm trying to put it together. I want to help you to be a yogi. So Bala, yes, Bala.
Thanks.
You unmute, please unmute, Bala. How to live as a yogi?
Like जनक, राजा जनक, राजाई में रह के भी अलिप्त रहता था. मतलब like live like a tortoise. जब तुम्हारे इंद्रियों की जरूरत है तभी तुमको बाहर आना है. और otherwise no need to what we say interfere in anybody's matter.
Very good, but practically possible. No need to interfere in anybody's matter.
You need to practice.
The mind will poke nose everywhere. No, the mind is not going to let you.
That will be the practice ki udhar se that meditation will help you.
So example was beautiful. The example of Raja Janak. Raja Janak was a real yogi. Yeah. It is mythological. He was the father of Sitaram. So Raja Janak was a king, yeah, but he was always in yoga. Yeah. He was known to be completely in union with the divine. Now, let me pause for a moment. Why this topic today? How to live as a yogi? Because we human beings are living very stressful, yeah, and life without peace, without any happiness, which means that we have got moments of pleasure, but we are losing this. Yeah. You know why we are losing this? Because we are caught in Maya. Yeah. Because we are caught in Leela. It is a yogi who is not a bhogi, who is able to see this drama and not have any trauma. Otherwise, the rest of us are having trauma. It is the yogi who has no trauma. The yogi lives. The yogi jo yog mein sada hi rahe, Prabhu ke yog mein rahe. Frozen. Just now, somebody sent me one big world's greatest spiritual person talking on yoga, but talking something which is not relevant. How to live as a yogi is a very simple question. And in this call, every day, Bala, you notice at the end of the call, yesterday, what answer I gave you all? You remember yesterday's answer? Okay, unmute. I can't hear.
From yesterday, I started practicing. I am just seeing Leela, matlab kya? All characters are playing their role and it is their role. So I should not interfere in that role.
Very good. Very good.
So that practice really helped me for 24 hours.
So good. You are a seeker. Let us ask Bliko. So Bala will come back to you. Bliko, Rumataji, Krishan. Bolo Bliko. Unmute. Bliko, unmute.
Yes, sir. Sure. The answer is easy to give, but it is difficult to implement.
But you give the answer. You give how to live as a yogi.
So it is a journey. It starts with magic. And when you reach up to the 5th stage of final stage, when you realize that the 5 stages are done properly and you are merged with divine and you live as a yogi. Actually, why
You're-
we have to be yogi?
You're you're tickling my mind. Have I given you acronym for yogi?
I
YOGI. Have I given acronym?
think not.
No, no,
No.
no.
Okay, let us see. As Bliko is talking to me, I'm asking myself, what is YOGI? You know, and I don't know the answer because SIP speaks through me. And Y means yearning for the
Yearning.
divine.
Yearning for it.
Yearning for the divine. The first, that yearning. Huh? And we will come to OGI, but continue, Bliko, what were you saying? I don't know the answer, as I told you.
So when you know the importance of why you have to be yogi, that is
Yeah.
first. When you don't know the importance of yogi, yesterday we are talking about the effect of the yogi. You will find bliss and peace, and that is the happiness. If you are aiming to that, then you will think of going to the way to reach to become yogi and live life like a yogi. So first of all, the importance of being yogi, that has to be realized first. When you realize, the journey starts there with magic. And when you overcome all the hurdles, then you become, your life transform and become metamorphosis, and then you will never sink back to the program.
So what you say is correct. But tell me, Aru, have you broadcast to all the message, Yogi? No. Okay. So in summary, Bliko, what is yogi? How to live as a yogi?
You have to give your 100% priority to the magic and live life with full awareness that you are divine, you are Sip, and you have to do.
Where we got this one? Where did we? Is there an acronym? Okay.
So
Okay.
that
I need. So okay. So I don't know how we have written the acronym of yogi, but we have not given to anybody. So let us see. I don't know how we have not given. So I don't know. The administrators here are picking it up and telling me it's written. Let us. So, Bliko, in one line, you're giving it in a little longer method. In one
okay,
line.
one line is that the biggest hurdle to live like a yogi is mind, which is
Correct.
not exist.
Nowadays, every day I'm giving you flying kiss. कल भी आपको flying kiss दिया ना? कल
Thank
आपको
you,
दिया,
thank you.
कल क्या आप इतना amazing बात बोलते हैं?
So this mind has to convert into monk.
Beautiful.
When that process is over, you are metamorphosis.
Arey, Bliko, you know Bliko, the one who has conquered the mind is greater than the one who has conquered the world.
Conquer the whole world. Yeah.
The mind can kill us. The mind can destroy us, and we don't even realize. Bliko, we don't even realize who we are and why we are here. हम ये नहीं जानते हम कौन हैं और यहाँ पे क्यों आए हैं. We are so caught in the mundane, unnecessary rubbish of life, and before we know it, life will be over. And then you can't rewind life. There's no rewind button. But we are not able to live as a yogi.
So I want to add one thing, that this ignorance, it is as equal to blindness.
Yeah, it is absolute blindness.
It is a blindness. Like you said, you don't know why you are, who you are, and you are living. So that is a blindness. You are running in a tunnel.
The
Dark
beggar.
tunnel.
I was writing a story today in a book called Spirituality for Children. I'm writing a book. Today I wrote the story of the beggar. The beggar every day picking up, the blind beggar, every day picking the coins and throwing the dirty papers away. Till somebody came and told him, Mr. Beggar, those are not dirty papers. Those are the notes. You are throwing the notes and you are keeping the coins. So today I wrote that story for children. We are writing a book called Spirituality for Children. Okay, good, Bliko. Thank you for your contribution. Ru Mataji. Earnings.
प्रणाम गुरुजी, शिवोहम.
Yes.
प्रणाम
प्रणाम बताइए.
गुरुजी, शिवोहम.
शिवोहम बताइए. What is yoga? Yoga
Yesterday,
is different.
yesterday you told us two things. To leave I, me and mine, and second, ignorance.
Are you amazing? I thought you all forgot. I thought you all
No,
forgot about it.
no, Guruji, I remember it very well. And same answers can be here also. We have to live in Sat Chit Anand. Sat ke chit mein rehna hai. Then only we can live as yogi.
Sat Chit Anand is a good answer, but yogi is different. Sat Chit Anand is not yogi.
Okay.
तो माता जी सत्य के चित्त में आनंद में हम रह सकते हैं, लेकिन प्रभु के योग में ना भी हो हम। प्रभु के जो योग में है रहता सदा, संसार के भोग में वो ना है डूबा, आनंदा के सागर में जीता वो है, वो चिंता ना करता, प्रभु के योग में जीता है। जो प्रभु के योग में जीता है वो चिंता नहीं करता है।
गुरुजी आप बोलिए पहले से मैं बता।
नहीं आप बताइए।
Sorry to interrupt. Second, Guruji, to live as Ru.
रू, हाँ, गुड। रू लिविंग एज रू से क्या होगा?
जब हमें रूह की तरह रहेंगे तो बॉडी से हमारे कनेक्शन नहीं है. वी आर नॉट बॉदर्ड अबाउट द बॉडी एंड द सराउंडिंग्स.
Very good. That is one aspect of a yogi. So I think, I don't know where this acronym came. I don't know what date the acronym came. It's there in the last page, in the last summary pages. So let me ask Krishan. Krishan, what? Rumata ji, आपको और कुछ बोलना है? Rumata ji, और कुछ बोलना है आपको? Okay, Krishan, बताइए.
Shivam sir, yogi words come from yog, and yog means add of two things. First, you have to be hold the hand of the god. First condition is that. Second, you have to kill your ego, mind, and ignorance. You have to remove these things, and you must understand one thing, that you are play a role, a character in this Maya. Then only we can live like as a yogi.
You are right. So let me quickly give you this acronym, and then we discuss. In the book that is, I just told you this book, there's something called attributes of a yogi. One, why? The yogi yearns for the divine and liberation. O, overcomes thoughts and lives in consciousness. G, Chotwani, goes from one state of yoga to another. And I, is ever connected with the divine. Did you all capture what is yogi? A yogi is the one who yearns for the divine and liberation, overcoming thoughts and living in consciousness, going from one state of yoga. 5 states of yoga we know, 4 the world knows, 5th we were blessed with. 5 states of yoga, ever connected with the divine. Which means we never leave the hand of SIP. We never slip. We always have a grip of SIP. So have we missed any point, or have we covered all the points? Because it's already in the book.
What is it? What is it?
Is ever connected with the divine. Is a yogi is ever connected with the divine. So my dear friends, I did not even know it is in the book. I'm being honest with you. I am so ignorant sometimes. I know nothing. I don't even know what is written by us, because we don't write. SIP writes. So now, who would like to tell me whether this is the way, how to live as a yogi, whether you have understood or not? Who would like to take this forward now? Anybody's hand up?
Guruji,
हाँ
Guruji,
बताइए बताइए माताजी.
Guruji, we should have yearning for God.
Correct. And liberation. No,
100%.
no. And liberation. God
And liberation.
Okay. Continue.
Yearning for God and liberation. And O is for overcoming our thoughts and live in consciousness.
Correct. Correct.
And G is from going from one state of yoga to another.
Correct.
And A is always connected to God.
Is always yogi.
Okay. Is always connected to God.
Or if you put yoga, also always connected to God.
Yes.
Yoga is also always connected to God. Yogi is always connected to God. एक ही बात है. So, are you clear how to live as a yogi now? Are
Yes,
you clear?
Guruji.
Is it possible how to live as a yogi? Ashok Chotwani, you gave only 5 states of yoga. No, Ashok, now see what we are saying. We have given 4 steps. You have to yearn, Ashok, unless you have the deep yearning. What Bliko said, magic. I think Bliko said magic. See, if my yearning is for this world, if my yearning is for the skin, how will I be in yoga with the divine that is within? That is why the Vairagi is important. The Vairagi, one who renounces, is important. Sometimes we don't understand the meaning of this. Suppose I'm addicted. Suppose I'm addicted to chicken. Every day I want to eat chicken. That addiction is bad. So the yearning should only be for the divine and for liberation. Yearning. Overcoming thoughts. Some of you told, who I think Bliko said, overcoming thoughts and living in the state of consciousness. What Rumataji said, living as Ru. Same thing. Rumataji, when we overcome thoughts, and we are living in consciousness, we become Ru. We become the Atma. And then what Chotwani said, going from one state to another. We start Dhyana Yoga, move to Bhakti Yoga, move to Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Prema Yoga. And Samatma said, if there's any gap in the yoga, it is cemented by Prema Yoga. Beautifully said. Samatha, I think you said that, right, Samatma? Because Prema Yoga is the ability to love the divine in one and all. Prema Yoga is not lust. It is pure divine love. White love that comes from the soul, that manifests as the 7 colors of the rainbow of love, which we don't understand. We don't understand because we are bhogis. We are all bhogis. Huh? The bhogi has got bhog. Bhog means bhog for this world. Huh? He has desires and passions. He is only sinking in this world. He goes from one obsession to another. And he is always in bhoga. If you look at the opposite of yogi, comes the bhogi. So it is very important for us not to be a bhogi. And how to, so now I don't know whether you have learned Bala and the others, Rajendra and our master Chidanand, who's quiet, Atmatrai. Have you all learned this easily, or is it complicated or difficult in terms of Shair also is there? Is it easy to live as a yogi or difficult? We have got Master Chidanand. Sir.
Yom Guruji.
Sure, sir.
Once the Jivatma starts living as a yogi, the Chitta Prajna is the final outcome. The dualities don't affect him.
That is why the O, overcoming all thoughts and living in consciousness, gives you the Sthita Prajna.
Yes.
A Sthita Prajna is that, no, the one who is living in consciousness, activating intellect.
Yeah, as a Jivan Mukta.
So O, overcoming all thoughts, living in I'm using Rumataji wanted to say, I'm using living in soulful consciousness. So my dear friends, before I go to Atmatraya, let me pause for a moment for those who are new. Let me pause.
Soulful, 1 second. A soulful consciousness means मैं आत्मा हूँ, बाकी मतलब what thought to give to our mind?
No, no thoughts. In soulful consciousness, there is no thoughts.
So being and human being, how we can, what we say?
Let me explain to you.
Yeah.
So when the mind is in command, you get thought after thought after thought after thought after thought, like a popcorn machine. You have seen a popcorn machine. But when you are in soulful consciousness, you pick thoughts like you pick a rose from a garden. You pick it. You pick the thought with your intellect. The thought doesn't bombard you, but you pick the thought like a beautiful tulip in the garden, red tulip, yellow tulip. You go, I use the word tulip because it has no thorns. So you go pick the tulip. You don't pick a thorn and get poked because that's mind. So that is soulful consciousness. Soulful consciousness is stillness, is that state of being thoughtless. We are not in the state of thoughtfulness, Bala. We are full of fear, worry, stress, anxiety. But in a state of consciousness, there is Satchit Anand. There is bliss.
Sir, how to practice?
By stilling the mind.
By
just like when you are eating, you can stop eating. When you're walking, you can stop walking. When you're talking, you can stop talking. When you're thinking, you stop thinking. This is where meditation helps. You spend time in silence. You close your senses. Who told those caterpillar, the tortoise example? You only told the tortoise.
Yeah, I told.
So you only gave, no? So when the tortoise, the 5 senses go within the shell, then you can still the mind. Then you can reach the state of consciousness. Thank you, Chidanand and Atmatraya. Yes.
I think Yogi practices ABCD, the cycle ABCD, ABCD. That's the way.
Absolutely, but that is the way to deal with karma, right? But the yogi also practices ABCD, correct? But you know what, Chidanand, only ABCD will not make you yogi.
No, silence is the key.
Yogi, the yearning for liberation, that Majim had, is very important. Then going from one state of yoga to another is important, and is always holding the hand of God. See, when do we break our yoga? When does the yogi become a bhogi? The yogi becomes a bhogi the moment we lose connection. The minute we lose connection. You know, it's like very often I make tea. I make tea myself. And when I make tea, if the tea is boiling, the water in the kettle is boiling, and the moment the power goes off, that water becomes thanda. I can't make tea. One day after making the tea, I pressed the button. But you know what happened? The power switch was off. So without checking, I took the water from the kettle and I put in the tea bag. But there was no tea because cold water cannot make tea in the tea bag. You need hot water. That hot yearning for the divine. But let us see whether anybody is able to point any hole. Atmatraya.
Yes, sure, sir. Sir, as I think mumukshatva, vivek and vairagya is essential for living yogi.
Correct. Correct. It's the same thing. What you are saying. Mumukshutva is yearning.
Correct. Yes.
And vairagya. Vairagi is the one who only going from yoga to yoga, not going in bhoga.
Right, sir.
Mumuksha, vairagi, and you said?
Vivek.
Vivek is only thoughts, overcoming thoughts and living in consciousness. Again, that is Vivek. So what
Correct.
answer you're giving is correct. You are giving Chidanand type of answer from the scripture.
Okay.
You are saying Mumukshu, Vairagya, and Vivek. But tell me, my dear master Atmatraya, tell me why I am giving it in this formula. Tell me.
It is
Why?
easy to remind, sir. Acronym
Even
is easy.
Atmatray when you're sleeping after 5 years, if somebody asks you, what is the attribute of yogi? You will say,
Right.
yogi, jo yearning of divine and liberation,
Correct.
overcoming thoughts and living in consciousness, going from one state of yoga to another, is always connected with God. So I give you all acronyms, not
Yeah.
because I like acronyms. Of course I like,
Okay.
because it helps us remember. Like just now
Yes,
Chidanand
yes.
told ABCD,
Mhm.
very easy. Yesterday I told you, Rumataji gave answer. Yesterday, how to have bliss and peace. Who steals our bliss and peace? Answer,
Me.
Rumataji, answer kya hai?
Me,
I,
mine.
me and mine.
I.
Aye.
Acha.
I and ignorance. Ignorance and I. I steals peace and our bliss. Okay.
Okay. Very
Ashok
nice, sir.
Chotwani and then Chidanand. Ashok
Thank you.
Chotwani.
Sir, I want to add, to live as a yogi, we have to implement the principle of acceptance and surrender.
You are right.
Hello.
You are right. We have to live in acceptance and surrender.
ABCD.
You know what happens? I'll tell you. No, what you're saying is correct. But a yogi who's yearning for the divine and liberation, who's overcoming all thoughts, who's going from one yoga to another, who's always holding the hand of God, he is indifferent to this samsar. अशोक चोटवानी जो योगी है ना, उनको acceptance and surrender का जरूरत ही नहीं. Right? The one who is living in this samsar, he has to accept, surrender. The one who's doing karma, the one who's trying to transcend. But the yogi, I told you in the song, yogi jo yog mein sada hi rahe prabhu ke. You're in a different game. Nothing matters to yogi. Ashok Chotwani.
Yeah. Sir, the question is how to live as a yogi.
So you must, how to live? The answer is, one, you must yearn. You must have yearning for liberation and the divine. That yearning must be all the time. One, you must overcome thoughts and live in consciousness. So if you overcome thoughts and live in consciousness, then there is the need to accept and surrender. Accepting and surrender is to do with thoughts. Oh, this happened, I have to accept. Oh, this is happening, I have to surrender. Oh, this problem is there, therefore I have to accept. Oh, this is I have a fear, I have to surrender. But when there is no thought, when there are no thoughts at all, so a yogi yearns for the divine, overcomes thoughts and lives in such an anant consciousness, going from one state of yoga to another as a divine instrument. Dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, prema yoga.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't leave the hand of the divine. Chotwani, just think I'm hugging you. Suppose I am hugging you tightly. Chotwani, imagine I am hugging you tightly. I'm hugging you tightly, I'm hugging you. Then does anything else matter?
Yeah.
Does anything else matter?
No, sir.
If I'm hugging you tightly, then I forget the whole world. But very difficult. How to live as a yogi, I am not telling, okay, from today onwards, everybody will be yogi. All of you, Yogi Chidanand, Yogi Bliko, am I saying like that you all will be yogi from today onwards? No, the ultimate goal is to be a yogi, to live as a yogi.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate goal. Because if we don't live as a yogi, then we'll be bhogi. And it will be bhogi, then you have to have acceptance, surrender to become yogi.
True, sir.
See, the bhogi has a big problem. Look at this. Let us, I think, Chidanand, you gave the word. Who's a bhogi? The bhogi lives with a mind. What is mind? Who knows what is mind?
Bundle of thoughts, sir. Yeah.
No. M-I-N-D.
Yeah.
Mind is full of miseries, ignorance, negativity, and desires. Correct? Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know. So mind is full of miseries. Oh, yeah. Oh, misery all the time. You're crying. Who's crying? Who's crying? The mind.
Mind, yeah.
The yogi will not cry. The yogi says, I am holding the hand of the divine.
Yeah.
So this mind, the yogi drops the mind, overcomes thoughts and lives in consciousness. So this is the way to elevate, living as a monk. But who's a monk? Master of the mind. Then only in, I think, it's only in yoga.
Yeah.
Master of the mind, only in yoga. And no desires. K, karma transcended. Correct?
Yes.
So this is a monk. Yes, Chidanand, let us.
Thank you, sir.
No,
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that USF don't love acronym. That's a natural process. Vyasa, after doing everything, finally wrote Brahma Sutras. Shankara, after writing everything, had a Bhasya in Brahma Sutras. You, after everything, we have got Sip Sutras. Just acronyms are enough to get
So
liberated.
Chidanand, you take over writing the Sip Sutras. I am not capable of this. Chidanand ke Sip Sutra. Chidanand
I think Sip Chotwani is already doing it.
See,
obvious.
why this group is amazing, Chidanand? Why this group is amazing? Because there are so many masters. This group is amazing because this, I was telling you today, I was listening to one big saint talking about yoga, what all he's talking. Complicating to the core.
Confusion. Yeah.
Complete. And millions are watching. But no meaning. So that's
Sir,
why when I give.
according to you, sir, according to you, who is the best, who is the ideal yogi? Name any three personality. Do you think that they are the best yogi, example of yogi?
The person who names the three
Like
personalities,
Swami
the person who names three personalities as the best yogis is the biggest fool in the world. If I name, then I am the biggest fool in the world. Bolo kyun? Bolo kyun?
Because लोग उनकी कॉपी बनना चाहेंगे फिर. Because लोग उनकी कॉपी बनना चाहेंगे, कार्बन कॉपी बनना चाहेंगे.
Tell me why I told the man who says these three people is the biggest fool, three best yogis. Why I told like that? Because Krishna, nobody in this world can define who are the three best yogis. Nobody in the world can define this. Only Sip knows. If I should not lie to you, lying is bad. Jhoot bolna, nah. I should not bluff. Bala, Bala and Chidanand, is there anything more you want to say or you finished? Bala.
No, I finished.
Actually, because we have mind, that's why we are human being. So we cannot blame as mind is full of misery, but we have to hold the mind and give the right direction to the mind. So
my dear Bala, you have not read the book, Flip Over from Mind to Consciousness. In the Upanishads, they talk of Man, Buddhi, Chit, Ahankar.
Yeah.
Man is different, Buddhi is different. Man is Dushman. Buddhi is Viveka Chudamani. Chudamani means the biggest treasure. So you have to flip over from mind, which makes you miserable, to Buddhi, intellect, which makes a discrimination of the thoughts.
Yeah.
You're new to this group, so you will slowly you will pick up all these points.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
it. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm sorry for correcting you because I have to correct you.
No, actually, you correct me. I start practicing it, sir, because I'm the learner, learning all these things.
So Bala, we have to move here. See the coin. We have to move from mind to consciousness. In the mind state, we are Buddha.
Yeah.
In the consciousness state, the intellect shines.
Yeah.
Hindi, you know Hindi, na? Hindi, you know. Hindi, you know Hindi.
Yeah, I know Hindi.
The song says, जो बुद्धि से नहीं पर जो मन से काम करते लोग उन्हें बुद्धू कहते हैं. जो बुद्धि से नहीं पर मन से जो काम करते हैं लोग उन्हें बुद्धू कहते हैं.
बुद्धि से नहीं मन से. Yeah.
सही और गलत का जो भेदभाव ना करते लोग उन्हें बुद्धू कहते हैं. Who's बुद्धू? Buddhu is the one who doesn't discriminate wrong, right, black, white. The Buddhu is the one who will keep the coins like the blind beggar and throw away the notes. That's a Buddhu. The Buddhu keeps all the chota small coins, and big notes he throws away, saying that dirty paper. So we should not be Buddhu.
Yeah.
We should use our Buddhi. Okay, so my dear friends, before let me close today by telling you, let me wind up. Every day I should spend 1 or 2 minutes winding up, because otherwise administrator says there's no use to the call. Today's conclusion of the call is this, my dear friends: how to live as a yogi. My dear friends, Rumataji, don't yearn for jalebi and laddu and peda and Johnny Walker and biryani. Yearn for the divine. Don't yearn for wine, yearn for the divine. Yearn for the divine, not for wine. Why? Oh, overcome thought, live in soulful consciousness. G, Chotwani, going from one state of yoga to another. Yoga, 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 yoga. And Yogi is always connected with God. Ashok Nichani is there. Ashok Nichani, he always sings the song, na? Chodu na main uska haath, wo hai mere bholenath. Chodu na main uska haath. We leave the hand of sip. And that is the biggest mistake of our life. Maybe tomorrow I will put this session. Tomorrow I will try to connect this session. What my guru told me, what is our greatest strength and what is our biggest weakness. Maybe we will discuss tomorrow. But my dear friends, all you try to be a yogi, try to live in yoga. With folded hands, I bow down to you.
Long form of SIP. Sir, what is a long form of SIP?
Supreme immortal power, whom the world calls God. God is SIP, supreme immortal power.